with a side length of 200 metres and an area of over 40,000 square metres. Originally, the market square was not designed to be an empty space, but a place for merchant buildings, which in fact existed there in the Middle Ages. Currently, the market square is a place vibrant with life night and day, successfully serving as a meeting place for the people of Krakow. Famous buildings such as St. Mary's Basilica, the Cloth Hall, Sukinica, the Town Hall Tower, St. Alderbert's Church, and more than 40 historic tenements are situated in the main market square. The urban planning of Krakow, with a centrally located market square, perfectly reflects the typical layout of a medieval town. The irregularities of the market square, like for example the obliquely located St. Mary's Basilica and St. Alderbert's Church, prove its ancient origin from the period before the town was granted a charter.
And here on the ground, let me see, there you can see the first market square.
And no, we'll get off in the Jewish Quarter.
Yeah.
Our hotel is in the Jewish Quarter.
Okay, I got it. So, this building is a Palace of Art.
The Palace of Art. The building, erected at the beginning of the 20th century on the initiative of the Friends of the Fine Art Society in Krakow, architectonically represents the style of the Vienna Secession, with elements of classicism. The most renowned artists of Krakow participated in the decoration of the palace. The ornamented frieze around the building depicts the changeability of an artist's fortune and the hardships of the creative process. Apollo's huge radiant head tops the...
Back when we brought down the Jewish Quarter, he just didn't get papers for laying down the section either.
Yeah, well, he used to stay and get it.
Pretty much, yeah. Look at all the slopes. Hey, go to the hotel we did. That's really close to it. And it was trying to run down to this area, and give the impression it's only one
You might have just been lazy.
St. John's Street. It is a beautiful and elegant street of palaces, once belonging to the aristocracy of the city, much quieter than the vibrant St. Florian Street. St. John's Street owes its name to the medieval church of St. John the Baptist and St. John the Evangelist. Nowadays, the ornate buildings house shops and art galleries, including one of the most renowned Polish satirist, Andrzej Mleczko. Characterized by an abundance of architectural elements, mostly tenements, among which one can find relics of medieval architecture. St. Florian Street is a vibrant promenade of the city, with boutiques, coffee shops, interesting museums and art galleries.
Okay, and from left side. Alright, this is Florian Gate.
That was
St.
that
Florian's
massage
Gate.
place in
The 34.5 metre high stone gate dates back to the beginning of the 14th century. It was the grandest gate of the city, through which royal retinues and foreign legations would pass, heading to Babel Castle.
This is the second corner of the market square. From this corner, or on the side, you will see St. Mary Basilica.
St. Mary's Basilica. The Gothic triple-nave sacral building, erected in 1287 to 1320, with 6 chapels and 2 towers, is undoubtedly one of the most beautiful churches in Central Europe. The basilica was built in place of an older Romanesque building, which had been destroyed during Tartar raids. According to legend, the towers of St. Mary's Basilica were being built by 2 brothers. One of the brothers killed the other more talented one. The tower of the killed brother remained unfinished and serves now as a bell tower. Since the 16th century, a trumpeter plays a tune on the hour, called the Haynau, from the higher tower, which measures 80 meters. There is a legend explaining the origin of the tradition. It is filled with precious works of art from various periods. The finest of all is undoubtedly the wooden altarpiece, carved in 1477 to 89 by Witt Stvosch from Nuremberg. The altarpiece shows the scene of the death of the Virgin Mary in the arms of the apostles, along with other biblical scenes. It is the largest and the most magnificent altarpiece of this kind in Europe, and is considered to be the most valuable work of art, not only in Krakow, but the whole of Poland.
They might have a charger fit. They have a computer. They might have a charger fit.
What was it? What?
The computer van.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
For emergencies, you can call it.
Yeah, computer guy.
The Church of the Holy Cross. This picturesque brick church, built in the Gothic style, with a stone presbytery, has its origins at the turn of the 12th and 13th centuries. The building was erected using leftover stone from the construction of the city walls. The interior of the church is impressive, with a unique Gothic palm vault, based on a lofty centrally situated pillar. The walls are decorated with striking 16th century wall paintings on the subject of the Last Judgment, the Devil, and sin. Nowadays, the church is home of the artist's chaplaincy. During Sunday service, one can meet popular actors from the nearby Julius Swawatski theatre. The Julius Swawatski Theatre. The theatre was built between 1891 and 1893 to a design by Jan Zawieski and modelled after the Paris Opera. The building is an exquisite example of eclectic architecture. The splendid facade is crowned with allegorical figures representing poetry, drama, comedy, music, opera, and operetta. Soon after the opening, the Julius Swawatski Theatre obtained the status of a national stage and began to set trends in Polish modern drama. The theatre boasts a famous curtain by painter Henryk Szemieradzki, which is lowered only during the long interval.
From that side, you will see a mirror to the wall.
Remains of the city walls. The city walls date back to 1285, when, with the permission of King Leszek the Black, construction began. The fortifications, together with a moat, surrounded the entire old town and had been extended many times over the centuries. At their largest, the walls had 47 towers. The preserved northern part of the walls to the old town, St. Florian's Gate. The Barbican is circular in shape, with an inner diameter of about 24 metres and walls over 3 metres thick. This Gothic construction features over 100 firing ports, lined at 4 levels, and 7 towers, which were used to direct the fire. Defenders of the city used to guard this entrance, firing arrows, hurling stones, and pouring down hot pitch onto attackers' heads. The Barbican was additionally surrounded by a moat, which was over 20 metres wide and 3.5 metres deep.
side we will see Julius Church. Can we look at the boys?
Piarists' Church. In 1654, the Piarist Fathers, an Italian order providing education for the poorest children of the street, settled in Krakow. Their church was erected in the 18th century to the design of renowned architect Kacper Bojanka. Cabaret in the cellar. The Back Street is a favourite place of the artistic bohemia of Krakow.
What? Yeah. Not sure would have been all over this one.
Many alterations, the building is a historic monument of outstanding value. The tower is 70 metres high, and the entrance to it is guarded by 2 stone lions. Inside, the tower houses an exhibition as part of the Museum of the Historic City of Krakow. Open Church. Preserved in its early Gothic form, the church dates back to the 13th century and was probably founded by Bolesław the Chaste. The interior of the church is adorned with striking stained glass windows and polychrome paintings in the Art Nouveau style, designed by Stanisław Wyspiański. The west window above the choir features the most famous stained glass window in Poland, titled Stanchen B, and depicting the creation of the world. One of the chapels of the Franciscan Church is the seat of the ancient Archfraternity of God's Passion, one of the peculiarities of Krakow. During Lent, the anonymous hooded members of the fraternity take part in special processions. The route, which royal retinues and foreign envoys took travelling to Wawel. The Royal Road was also the route that bishops of Krakow travelled to Wawel Cathedral for installation. The route begins at St. Florian's Gate, continues along St. Florian Street, through the main market square to Grobska Street, and then along Senatska Street and Kanonicha Street up to Wawel Hill. Kazimierz Town Hall. The building served as town hall in the times when Kazimierz was a separate town. It was an administrative, financial and legal centre, while the cellars of the building were used as a prison. The town hall was built in the 15th century, and then in the following centuries it was rebuilt in the Renaissance style. At the beginning of the 19th century, the town of Kazimierz was incorporated, has housed the oldest ethnographic museum in Poland. Visitors can acquaint themselves with the life, customs and material culture of the people of the Krakow area and ethnic minorities.
So, this is St. Catherine Church.
St. Catherine's Church. It is one of the largest Gothic buildings in Krakow, the construction of which was begun in 1343 by Casimir the Great. According to legend, the ruler was criticized by the priest Marcin Barychka for his immoral conduct. This aroused the anger of the monarch, who ordered the drowning of the priest in the Vistula River. Yet, to avoid the fate of Bolesław the Generous, he did it discreetly, and to atone for his sin, he ordered for a church to be built in the place where the priest's body was recovered. The building was destroyed several times during its turbulent history, but fortunately, the fine, soaring silhouette of the church